Portals, Chapter 2, A Sudden Disturbance. The crescent moon illuminated the rooftops with the lights of the city. Stars brightly glistened with the moon, dancing in its beams. It was a night like every other night. The unsleeping city of Manhattan bustled below. Blissfully unawares, 4 figures leapt from roof to roof. The quartet landed on top of a building right in front of a closed museum. They all watched carefully as a hooded figure looked around. It was too far to get a good look at their face, especially while they were hidden in the dark. They glanced around to see if anyone was watching, then slipped into the dark alleyway next to the museum. Donnie and the others have been following this guy for a few blocks now, and everything about them screamed trouble. They kept tailing them until they ended up here. Just seems to be a low-life burglar, Donnie scoffed. He didn't have time for this. He had mountains upon mountains of projects to catch up on. Couldn't this guy rob a museum another day?
Still, it's our duty to keep this city safe, no matter how small that threat is,
Raph stated, brow bones furrowing as he scanned the area for any possible onlookers or accomplices. Raph's right. We can take care of this guy, no problem. Mikey piped up, weapon in hand, and ready to go whenever Raph said so. And then there was Leo. He looked as confident as ever, with that cocky look on his face. If they're just some thief, this'll be easy peasy. Raph sighed.
Only if you don't mess it up. You always get in your way over your head, Leo. Just please listen to me this time, so we can get through this over with.
Leo just rolled his eyes. The whole point of being a leader is that you lead. Which, might I remind you, is a role that Dad gave to me. So I get to call the shots now, he argued smugly. Raph, along with the others, could only groan in annoyance. Do you at least have a plan? Donnie questioned, already growing tired of this. No. Why would we need a plan? Just ninja in, ninja their face, ninja out. Easy. Donnie did nothing but pinch the bridge of his snout. Raph sighed deeply.
Consider our plan, he huffed,
gesturing to the others. Leo simply raised an eyebrow. You have a plan? No offense, bro, but you were never the strategic type. We don't want to make this longer than it has to be. Stealth would be quicker and won't attract unwanted attention. Donnie tapped away on his tech band, not even bothering to look up. Raph nodded.
We found out where that crook got in and used that as an entrance.
Why would we need to do that if I have my portals? Leo interrupted, seeming smug that he had found a plot hole in Raph's plan. Donnie spoke up this time. Your portals are bright and obvious, like yourself. Hey! And if we're going stealth, it's better to stay as discreet as possible.
Exactly.
Raph nodded proudly to the softshell.
And when we're in, we find the guy, apprehend him, and leave it to the cops to deal with the rest. We'll be in and out.
I like Raph's plan, Mikey said enthusiastically, which earned a prideful smile from the eldest. Leo's sly smirk morphed into a pout at no one agreeing to his totally awesome, cooler, and better strategy. He dramatically groaned and rolled his eyes. Yeah, whatever, fine, he grumbled, begrudgingly complying.
But my plan was cooler.
Content enough, Raph turned to the others. A loud beeping alarm sounded from Donnie's tech gauntlet. It pulsed a faint reddish glow. What in the world is that annoying beeping sound? Oh, wait, that's me. He tapped on the gauntlet's screen and pulled up a purple digital display. What do we have here? He mumbled to himself. What is it? Mikey asked, peeking over Donnie's shoulder to get a better look at the screen. The soft shell expanded the hologram so everyone could see it properly. On the monitor, there were 4 brightly colored dots: blue, red, orange, and purple. But not too far off to the side was another dot, a white one. It was far brighter than all the other dots on the screen. The unknown entity was pulsing waves from its center. Donnie furrowed his eyebrows and zoomed into the location. "Well, that's odd," he mumbled, cupping his hand over his mouth while continuing to mutter incoherently. "What's odd? What is that?" Raffet inquired while looking up quizzically at the digital screen. "I'm not sure what it is." Donnie squinted at the new entity. "It just popped up on my monitor." "What's with the things coming out of it?" Leo asked, peering up at the circular waves emitting from it. "Waves of mystic energy," Donnie said, simply. But it all still perplexed him. "I've never seen something this strong before. It might be dangerous. I think we should check it out." "What about the robber, in the museum? Ringing any bells here?" Leo said while wildly gesturing to the building below them. "They could be getting away right now."
"You're right. We're gonna have to split up for this,"
Raph stated.
"Donnie, Mikey, you two go find where that mystic energy is coming from. Leo and I will..."
Hold on. Last I remembered, I'm leading this team," Leo fussed. Raph pinched the bridge of his snout, grumbling.
"Leo, we don't have time for this."
"All right, new plan. Donnie, you and Mikey can go see whatever that mystic business is about. Raph and I'll deal with the museum guy, okay?" the Terrapin instructed.
"That's literally exactly what I said,"
Raph sighed through his teeth. "Well, I said it better."
Raph rolled his eyes. "Whatever. Let's go."
Donnie retracted the hologram and beckoned Mikey to follow him. "Onwards, Michael. We must locate this plethora of mystic energy. It could be important. Or extremely dangerous," the other piped in cheerily. And with that, both pairs went their separate paths. Kat's brain pounded against their skull. Their eyes slightly squinted open as they clutched their head. How did they end up on the floor? What the hell happened? They groaned, sitting up on their knees as they scanned their surroundings. Despite their blurry vision and aching head, they were able to make out that they had no fucking clue where they were. They were on an unfamiliar rooftop in the middle of some unfamiliar city. They knew this wasn't a dream. They tried to conjure up Leo ages ago. What in the world? Where the hell were they? Panicked now, they looked around frantically for some sort of memorable landmark. Taking time to survey their surroundings properly, they spotted scaffolding, metal bars, wood planks, and more assortments of building materials. They assumed that they were in an unfinished construction site. Okay, Kat breathed, talking to themselves like a normal person. Because normal people talk to themselves and possibly sleepwalk on their own way on top of buildings. Shaking their head, they tried to regain focus. What was the last thing they remembered? They snuck out of their house. Then they were walking with Nia, and that weird portal popped up. Oh shit, the portal! Oh shit, Nia! Nia? Kat called out, barely managing to stand before a sharp pain shot through their ankle. They yelped and fell back to the ground. The hell? They grunted. Kat peered down at their ankle quizzically, but shook their head to try and ignore the pain. They noticed something just a little away from them, and their heart dropped to their stomach when they realized it was Nia. Assumptions of the worst flooded their brain, making panic course through them. "Nia!" they shouted again, without a response before taking a deep breath, slowly standing up and limping towards their friend. Kat collapsed next to her, scanning her unmoving figure, and began to lightly nudge her. Hey, Nia, come on, wake up! This isn't funny!" Their voice cracked as their shaking became more violent. Kat kept pleading, but Nia never woke up. Kat's breathing quickened, and they gripped their arms tightly, their nails digging into their skin. It felt as if they had fallen into frozen cold water, only to find that that when they tried to emerge, they were being weighed down by an invisible force, making them spiral deeper and deeper into the never-ending depths of anxiety. "It's okay, Kat," they said in an attempt to comfort themselves. You just fell through a portal. Some portal, and now you're in some random city, on a random rooftop, with a busted ankle, and your unconscious, possibly dead best friend. No big deal." They let out a dry laugh. If anyone else was around, they would probably think Kat was insane. Kat thought to themselves, maybe there was someone around who could help them. But then again, anything here could be dangerous. Maybe they should... Their thoughts were abruptly paused when they heard a crash echo on the other side of the roof. They pricked up like a deer in headlights, listening carefully for the next possible sound. They heard voices, but couldn't make out what they were saying. Could this be help? Or an enemy? Kat couldn't see anyone. They were hidden by large crates in the front of them. Looking around for something to protect themselves, Kat spotted a toolbox just beyond arm's reach. Surely there could be a hammer or something they could use as a weapon. They stretched their arm out for the box, fingers grazing the handle countless times, but it was just an inch out of their reach. Kat strained to grab it, wrapping their arms around their hand around the handlebar. "Ha!" They laughed triumphantly before the whole box tipped over, cluttering loudly on the floor, all the contents scattered around on the ground, and Kat's breath hitched when they heard the other voices stop abruptly. Frantically, they looked for a place that they could possibly hide. The most they could do was to try and shrink as far back as they could into a corner and hope whoever was on the other side of those crates wouldn't see them. With Nia in their arms, Kat snatched the closest tool they could find, a metal wrench, off the floor and shuffled closer to the wall, further into the shadows. They could do nothing but hold their breath and wait. "Pretty sure it came from over here," a voice mumbled. Kat's brows furrowed. Have they heard this voice before? They swore it sounded familiar. "Be careful! It could be something dangerous!" That's two familiar voices now. That couldn't be a coincidence. Kat held their breath, gripping their wrench and holding Nia protectively with one arm. They heard the slow steps of people on the other side of their hiding spot closing in. A tall figure, hidden slightly but by the shadows, creeped around the corner. Maybe it was because Kat was sitting down, or maybe it was because their anxiety was through the roof then, but whatever the silhouette was, it looked like a monster. Its face was obscured by the dramatic shadows it was hidden in, and yet it somehow still looked vaguely familiar. Out of instinct, Kat flung the tool at the figure. The wrench cut through the air, soaring true to its destination. The throw was so clean and so accurate that it flew miles past the person's head, missing completely. The wrench clattered loudly to the ground, echoing obnoxiously for far too long. The two just stared at each other awkwardly. "I think you missed." Hold on, why do they sound exactly like... "You okay, Dee?" The second figure popped their head around the corner. Wait a damn minute. Yeah, I'm good. The duo stepped out of the shadows and into the light of the moon. Kat realized instantly why they sounded so familiar. The moonlight highlighted their features like their green skin and 3 fingers. Their color-coded attire and gear, and even with the two standing right in front of Kat, they couldn't believe it. There was no way in hell that Kat was looking at the fucking Ninja Turtles right now. Kat was frozen in place, mouth agape and eyes widening at the people in front of them. They felt their heads start to spin. They were definitely dead. If they weren't dreaming, they were dead. That's gotta be the only explanation. They fell in a trippy portal and died, and Nia was probably double dead. Kat's shock seemed to trigger something in the other's memory, and he frantically started to cough up some excuse. Oh, hi! We were just, looking for the turtle costume competition? One of the mutants, Mikey, jumbled, shooting glances at Donnie to ask for help. What? Oh, right, of course. We seem to have lost our way to the humanoid alien convention. That is most definitely real and not something made up mere seconds ago. Also, fear not, these are simply very elaborate turtle costumes, and we are most definitely human, he rambled proudly. Mikey held his head in his hands. Looking down at Kat again, Donnie seemed to finally notice Nia, who was carefully held in Kat's arms. They realized who Donnie was now looking at, and protectively held them closer and tighter as a way to say, back off. Kat knew well that she definitely couldn't beat someone them in a fight, but damn it, she'd go down swinging if she had to. What happened to your friend there? The soft show asked while gesturing to Nia. Kat hesitated. I don't know, she muttered helplessly. Mikey chimed in. Are you guys okay? Do you need help? His eyes flashed with concern. Donnie was quick to speak up. Now, hang on. We don't even know who these strangers are. Again, they could be dangerous. Mikey didn't listen in the slightest and approached the two, anyways, which earned a groan out of Donnie. Mikey crouched down to their level, cautiously moving closer. Kat's breath quickened as she tried to back away. Hey, it's okay. We won't hurt you, he cooed as one would do to a frightened cat, which was comically accurate to this case. Kat eyed him carefully for a moment. You won't? They asked meekly, and Mikey simply shook his head. Kat tried to let themselves ease up a little. Their tense shoulders relaxed just a bit, and the terrapin smiled at them. Donnie, can you do your scanny thingy to see if they're hurt? Mikey asked while looking back at his brother. Donnie sighed and rolled his eyes, then silently pulled down his lenses to scan the two. Whoa, he let out. What? Kat said, threads of concern weaving in their tone. Seems like you were the cause of that mystic energy I detected earlier. Or rather, your sleeping butt over there, he responded, flicking his goggles back up. What do you mean by that? What I mean is none of you are badly hurt. Although you, Kat pointed to Kat, have a sprained ankle. Probably not good to walk on it. Yeah, and you might want to check your friend for a concussion. Kat noticed that he never directly answered her question, but she was too scared to ask about it again. Instead, Instead, they looked at their ankle and winced. Mikey popped up. Don't worry, we'll get you fixed. Kat reciprocated his smile. I'm Mikey, by the way. That's my big bro Donnie over there. He gestured to the other, who half-heartedly waved. So, where are you from? And how'd you get up here? He questioned, tilting his head while doing so. Cat paused for a moment, not really knowing how to respond. We aren't from here, and for how we got up here, I have no idea, they replied warily. Cat had noticed that Donnie had stepped away for a moment, seemingly talking to someone on his tech band thing. They strained to get a better look at who was on screen. Pretty sure he's talking to Raph, our other brother, Mikey said, noticing Cat's curiosity. Cat decided that the best route was to play dumb. It would definitely be safe to act like they didn't know basically everything about the turtles. So are all your brothers turtles? They asked slowly. Yeah, they are. We may look scary, but I pinky promise, we're good. We're the good guys. The terrapin held up his pinky to Cat. They looked at it for a moment, then brought their own shaky hand to his. As they linked pinkies, Cat got a rush of, well, they didn't exactly know what. This whole thing had felt like a weird, vivid dream. It was one thing to look at the turtles, but now they had touched them, and it just made the whole thing more real. Donnie returned to the others. Raph will be back with Leo in a bit. They sounded like they're dealing with some trouble. Cat's breath hitched at the sound of Leo's name. Holy crap. Are they going to meet him, too? Mikey noticed Cat's nervousness and kindly placed a hand on their shoulder. Don't worry, they won't hurt you, I promise. Remember? He smiled brightly, holding up his pinky again. I know this might feel like a lot to you, but it'll be okay. He cooed. Cat inhaled deeply in an attempt to calm themselves. They warily looked down at Nia, who was still unconscious. With a deep sigh, they closed their eyes. What have they gotten themselves into?